Thank you. Minister Kamal, please.
Yeah, thank you. I will speak in Turkish and my friend will translate it in English because I'm not so good at English. Şimdi sadece Bangladeş'e yönelik değil, tüm az gelişmiş ya da gelişmekte olan ülkelere yönelik birkaç önerim olacak.
I will have a few recommendations for not only for Bangladesh but for all the other least developed countries.
Önce turizmin önemine inanmak lazım.
First, you have to believe in the importance of tourism.
Buna hem devlet hem özel sektör çok samimi olarak inanacak.
This should be done both by the public and the private sector.
Bunun akabinde de ülkenin zenginlikleri nelerse onları öne çıkaracak olan, turizme yönelik kullanılacak olan bütün zenginlikleri iyi bir tespit etmek lazım.
Plus this, you have to determine, establish the richness as a country, the richness you have as a country to put forward in your promotion.
Ve yatırımları da bu zenginlikleri tanıtacak sektörlere dağıtmak lazım.
And you have to distribute your investments to the sectors that are able to promote these richnesses.
Mümkünse kendi yurt içinden, değilse de yurt dışından yatırımcıları ülkeye çekebilmek lazım.
And it is also important to attract investors from inside the country and if possible from outside the country.
Bunun için de yatırımcılara bazı kolaylıklar getirmek gerekir.
For this you have to provide the investors with certain facilitations.
Enerji kullanımında, su kullanımında uygun alanların ücretsiz ya da çok uzun yıllara yaygın tahsisi şeklinde yatırımcıya kolaylıklar getirmek lazım.
These facilitations may include certain facilitations about energy and water usage, allocating
vergi
lands,
indirimleri olabilir.
providing tax reductions, tax exemptions, and allocating lands free of charge or for very long periods of time.
Kaliteli oteller yapmak lazım.
You have to build very high quality hotels.
Turizm bölgeleri oluşturmak lazım.
One has to form touristic areas.
Bu bölgelere ulaşımı kolaylaştırmak lazım. Havaalanlarını yaygınlaştırmak lazım.
And transportation to these tourism areas should be easy and number of airports should be increased.
Ve bunların hepsini yaptıktan sonra da bunu yurt dışında çok iyi tanıtabilmek lazım.
After all these done, you have to promote all what you have done abroad in the best way possible.
Konuşmamda da belirttiğim gibi biz Türkiye olarak dünyanın her tarafındaki turizm fuarlarına hem kamu hem özel sektör olarak çok yoğun bir şekilde katılıyoruz.
As I have stated during my speech, as Turkey we are taking part in all the tourism fairs all around the world, both as public sector and as private sector.
Buralarda hem ülkenin genel tanıtımını yapıyoruz hem de bölgesel tanıtımlara gidiyoruz.
We are promoting our country both on general basis and on local and regional basis.
Ülkenin genel tanıtımını biz bakanlık olarak yapıyoruz ama bölgesel tanıtımları illerin valilikleriyle, belediyelerle ve turizm yatırımcılarıyla, otel sahipleriyle, turizm ajantalarıyla bir bütün olarak sektörle birlikte yapıyoruz.
The regional promotion is being done by in cooperation with the governorates, municipalities, tourism investors of the region, in the region, the hotel owners and all these travel agencies. The general promotion has been done by the ministry.
Yani turizm çok ciddi çalışmayı, ekip çalışmasını, inanmayı ve bıkmamayı gerektiren bir sektör, sabırla çalışılması gereken bir sektör. Sonuçlarını muhakkak herkes alıyor.
I believe tourism, I think, is a sector that entails patience, and you have to work in a very devoted way, and it entails teamwork, and absolutely I believe that you will be reaping the benefits of what you have done at last.
Sonuç olarak çok şöyle kısa bir şey daha söylemek isterim. Sektörün inandığı kadar da sektöre yol gösteren bir yönetim olması lazım ülkede.
In concluding, I would like to add that there should be an administration in the country that orientates the sector as much as sector believes in itself.
Ve ülkenin Turizm Bakanlığı'yla diğer bakanlıkların da çok yakın bir işbirliğiyle çalışması lazım. Onlara bütün kolaylıkları sağlaması lazım.
And other ministries of the cabinet should work in cooperation with the Ministry of Tourism, and they will be ready to be of any assistance they need in this endeavors of the Ministry of Tourism.
Bu bakanlıkların başında biz Türkiye'de Ulaştırma Bakanlığı, Çevre Bakanlığı, Maliye Bakanlığı geliyor.
In Turkey, we are the top 3 ministries that are of assistance to the Ministry of Tourism are Ministry of Transportation, Ministry of Environment, and the Ministry of Finance.
Evet, şimdilik bu kadar. Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister, for this very concrete advice, and I would dare say very detailed advice, which is just, I think, if one was to summarize it in one word, after you have done all that, you need to promote it. Now, I will take a second turn of question just to be fair to this session, because we started 15 minutes late. A question here, this gentleman, over there.
And here.
Okay.
Here at the back.
Is my turn?
And the very last question, that's your turn, sir, over there. And very last question, back of the room.
That's right.
My name is Klaus Lengefeld. I'm from GIZ, former GTZ, German International Development Corporation. We've done a lot of work in tourism all over the world, also in those least developed countries. And we've come across 2 issues. I want to ask a question on those, because there are unexploited possibilities to bring benefits to local people. One is where tourism happens, especially if it happens next to beaches. The land value is exploding. And we have seen also, this is also a problem because there's much speculation, and I've seen many projects fail because of unclear land use rights. But are there any models? I've heard about Turkey, that there is a model that you take the responsibility for the negotiation, and so you make sure that all the landowners get their benefits. In other cases, like Fiji, land cannot be sold, so the landowner becomes shareholder of the company that develops the hotel. So they have a guaranteed benefit and a huge benefit, because 100 kilometers of beach in those countries, if it goes from $1 to $40, the added value is $2.5 billion US. That's more than most of the LDCs have as their GDP. So this is one thing, how the land ownership issue can be converted into both benefits and also making the local people shareholders of the tourism. And the other thing is to raise money for investment in tourism. It's not the external investor only. You have many local regional investors. And I've seen just a model, the Maldives changed the model. The 15 new hotels that are now developed by the Maldives Tourism Development Corporation, they sold shares to local people. So 30,000 people on the Maldives now are shareholders of the Maldives Tourism Development Corporation. This is 10% of the population, and in the first year, the payback they got is nearly half of what they invested. So tourism may also raise small-scale investment from local people to make them really identify and also benefit from tourism. Does Turkey have any model for both the land use and the making local people shareholders? And there's a big debate on Sri Lanka. The NGOs are critical with the hotel investments. Are local people benefiting in Sri Lanka from that issue? And also, lodge development is an issue where we have interesting models of local ownership that brings them benefits. Thank you.
Thank you. Try to be very short in your question, as short as you could be, please.
Madam, actually mine is basically what he has asked, but from the basis of clarification, who owns the land in Turkey? Because in Uganda, you'll find that the attraction areas are in places which are where the land is privately owned, and at times you find that because it is private land, some of these particular people do not want to sell. So in Turkey, as an experience, who owns the land?
Third question, third question, please.
My name is Ken Lipenga. I'm the Malawi Minister of Tourism. Malawi is also known as the warm heart of Africa, and your Africa is incomplete until you have been to Malawi. My question is meant for Ms. Rugamba. You made some passing reference to the feeding of gorillas. And as you know, one of the serious problems that we have in Africa is the destruction of wildlife, also known as poaching. I would like to hear from you what part the private sector in your country plays in strategies to put a check on this, but also to get ordinary people feel involved in tourism efforts, and whether you think this is succeeding as far as the ordinary people whose lives we are seeking to uplift are concerned. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then I will start in the responses. I will start by calling, first of all, please, Rosette, could you address that question regarding preservation? And I will thereafter ask Minister Kamal to respond to that very specific question regarding the land ownership, please.
Thank you for that question. Yes, gorillas, what I actually said was we created an event called Gorilla Naming Ceremony purely because gorillas really contribute a huge percentage of the tourism dollar that comes into the country. But we did also realize, and I think you'll start by, the government actually combined the Ministry of Tourism with the Ministry of Conservation, so that when you actually practice tourism, you make sure that the natural resources are conserved. How do the communities benefit? One of the successful PPPs that we put on was, there is the first ever community lodge, which is called Sakola. That was actually instead of calling it a PPP, I'll add also development partners, because the government provided land and also provided road infrastructure and the legal system, and then private sector came in for the investment, and the development partners also contributed funds and the private sector. This lodge is owned by 30,000 communities that live around where the gorillas are. And from that money, they're able they've built houses, they've built water holes, all the challenges that they meet. And it's one of the most expensive lodges to stay in Rwanda. It's $1,000 per night. So that is a tangible benefit that they get. Now, the communities are the first ones to champion the protection of these gorillas. Thank you.